is going to be the Rafaela coming in. Yes, there is going to be a little bit more mobility and sustains to deal through the burst of RRQ. This might be the Todak special we're looking for. Are they going to be able to crash through? I'm looking forward to see it happen as of yet.
Teamfight comp for Todak and for RRQ. A little bit mixed here, but again, I feel like both of these drafts have solid win conditions. They can adapt, they have multiple plans, and they can just play through every single lane. It really just depends on the execution, how each of the members perform in their lanes, in the jungle. What about you though, Scrubby? You're the objective one, you know, RRQ or Todak.
I think the scary thing is that both these drafts are exactly to their playstyles. If they want to flex that early game aggression, they can do that as well, but they also take care of the later part of the game and the mid. So this is really scary, and we've seen each of these players been able to flex on every of these heroes, but right now we are jumping into the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1, Mytex erupt as we jump in. RRQ and Todak, they're going to be looking for the first game. Both very momentum-based teams, as both of these junglers will choose to go for the normal pathing. Purple buff first.
Yeah, I feel like based on this composition coming from RRQ and Todak, they do have very, very clear intentions, right? From RRQ, it's going to be Vin trying to slow down the jungle pressure, whereas Todak, they just want to stall out and outlast Alberttt. Hopefully not allowing the landslide to get super crazy, because if that happens, RRQ, they're going to get whatever they want. But it seems like the first Little Wonder is going to be in the hands of RRQ.
Yeah, RRQ now taking the aggression there, not really ahead, but at least they've got priority in terms of the river here, but they're not letting out Todak. Four mates here in a bit of trouble, forced to just back a little bit.
Yeah, both teams, again, they don't really want to go too aggressive in the early stage. Both of them really respect each other here, especially considering that RRQ, they have this Julian in the mid lane, right? You're always going to lose out on prio in the first few levels. It all really just depends on how you use that kill pressure properly. Todak, actually surprising that Eve is not really doing good there in the lane, but Vin gets a hook. Ciku gets hooked back, but Momo and Yum's perfect timing to come back and rotate to protect their gold laner. Todak survived. They get the gold buff as well.
Yeah, that's the beauty of having Todak's composition, right? In Popon Core, even you get the hook, it's not necessarily something you can deal with, considering that you can kind of counter it with the Koopa surprise, you get the heals, etc. But even if the hook comes in, look at this, they're just too tanky to finish him off, and that's the idea coming from Todak. They just want to stall for time, but look at this, Todak, they are going to try and force the issue, but nope, they do force out a big flicker off win, so we are not going to see that flicker hook anytime soon yet.
Alberttt puts in some damage onto four mates here just in time as the first turtle of the game is spawning, and this gives him the advantage to start leashing the objective. In the mid lane though, they are trying to rotate down to take this. They're going to contest it.
This is what we said, right? RRQ, they know that mid lane prio is not a priority for them. They go straight for the turtle right here. Goes in for the retribution. Alberttt does not miss these opportunities. R7 jumping to the back lines. Real world manipulation. Cancel away. Bloody Hunt as well, but Alberttt, he's going to just run away as Clayyy gets picked off. R7 versus 4 versus 3 there. He picks up 1, and it is a fair trade. RRQ get the objective.
Yeah, you can see the objectives coming in from both sides, right? They have clear indications of what they need to do. Win did a fantastic job just cancelling a real manipulation, but Todak, they understand that as long as we're trading 50-50s, it's okay, because eventually there's no perfect games, and it's really, really rare to get 100% win rate in most of these team fights. As long as trading 50-50s, into his later stage of the game, Todak is going to be able to outmatch RRQ in terms of sustains.
I think right now, yes, they can trade 50-50, but as RRQ and Todak, they slowly scale up. Can they really escape that one Franco hook though? Right now, they've been able to just walk away for free from it, but gradually, as you get your item spikes, especially on Skylar, that burst damage is going to just hunt you down.
The kill pressure, that's the main thing here. As we take a look at the items.
Yeah, and as of now, you can see the itemizations coming from Ciku in particular. He's building a little bit more Blade of Despair to choose for the fight. However, looks like there's going to be a Langar coming in.
There you go, Momo jumps with the shield unity. Ciku picks up the kill, and again, Mytex just erupts. Every single time we see Todak initiating on these fights, getting the kills, Mytex erupts, and this is a big buff for them, right? Again, Todak really likes it when the crowd are behind them. Top side, going to be engaged on Skylar. Very, very dangerous position. Still gets out with a battle mirror image, and it is just both teams resetting once again, waiting for neutral objective.
This is the classic Todak that we usually see. They tentatively like to hit you where you least expect it, but it's very smart of Skylar on how he's taking all these trades. As soon as they see Todak down to his mid, going for a couple kill potential, he immediately tries to even up the scores. And based on this economy, you can see RQ, they're still leading by 500 in contrast to Todak. But as of yet, Vin is going to preemptively expect a gank coming from Todak.
I don't know if this is so much a classic Todak than it is a new Todak. Honestly, it feels like they're a lot more disciplined this time, and here they're trying to steal the buff from Todak as well. RRQ making the aggression, making space for Alberttt to take this next turtle here. Who is it going to go to?
Alberttt looking for the turtle right here as Formase jumps in, the retribution comes in, and it's Alberttt who takes it away. They reset, Vin misses on the hook just by a little bit there. Yum still able to get out, and both teams, once again, they're just waiting for something to happen here. Formase, R7, just doing the natural thing as an XP laner, the mechanical battle. 1v1, Formase might be looking for a kill, but again, Vin, he just goes in Reflector, he gets the pick up, Yums will fall. Random execution to the backside, Alberttt looking for more. Ciku cannot basic attack him. Alberttt just moving all across the place. That's gonna be the Thorn Rose as well. He jumps in onto Moon, Ciku falls, Momo as well. Clayyy gets a triple kill.
Oh, that's just so very unfortunate. Vin just got a very nice hook on towards Todak, but because of this, it is going to give them the momentum that they need to actually scale this game. Look at this, Alberttt is 0-0-3, and because of that, he's going to continue to be as nimble as possible, and now he makes an attempt up top.
Holy baptism, Alberttt still gets out.
Oh, this is the thing with RRQ's draft. Yes, you think the hook is the end of it, but no, you have the CC from Clayyy as well. You have some from, you have the damage coming in from him and Skylar, and now Todak, they press on their advantage.
Yeah, Todak, this is it, Todak Langar. When RRQ gets a trade, Todak comes back straight at it. They want to just look for team fights, throw bodies at objectives, part of the keys to victory.
Exactly, but before that, let's take a look at the damage out so far coming from all the teams so far. Alberttt and R7 is just doing so much damage in terms of contrast in all these team fights, and while this is actually happening, Todak, they are getting some sort of objectives, and so far all this hit and run coming from Todak is just not affecting Rrq Hoshi, and they're just so objectified of taking all these trades, and it's just really smart. However, down bottom, Formase seems like he's in a lot of trouble, but fortunately for him, the rest of RRQ is going to be focusing on mid control instead.
This is not great. Formase being forced out of his lane now as the turtle is spawning on the top side. So Todak, they're at a numbers disadvantage right now if they want to contest this objective.
Oh,
Skylar caught in that bad position, but luckily, defensive battle mirror image here. Todak looking for the turtle now again. Vin gets a hook onto Koopa, not really the target you want here, but Todak, I don't know if they want to take this.
Well, they're definitely not going to contest this. It's going to go completely for free to Alberttt now. And RRQ, Hoshi, and Todak, they are about 2k gold apart in kills. They're dead even. It still could be anyone's game, but I do feel like RRQ, Hoshi has a bit more control here.
Yeah, with that control, this is what we mentioned in the keys to victory. Now, we're starting to enter the mid stage of the game. How do they transition over to the late game with these talents?
Yeah, look at the emblems coming from RRQ Hoshi. Like, they've got double average, especially about R7 and Skylar. They want to play to this ultra later stage of the game. It was very similar composition coming from Todak, considering that Todak's timings hit a little bit higher, faster compared to RRQ Hoshi. So they're trying to compensate that difference in terms of trades, and because of that, they're evenly matched when it comes to taking all these fights, which is very interesting. But Todak looks like they want to try and force an issue against RRQ, but will they respond?
Well, they're trying to find something here, but RRQ is just not going to give them the opportunity unless they catch R7 here. Two members, Formase as well as Ciku, just trying to press on to zone R7 out of anywhere he's trying to go to on the map.
Well, R7, he will use the Falling Star Moon aggressively. There's no follow-up. Formase just dishes out so much damage. R7 a little bit feisty with it. He shows them, oh my god, Moon gets hooked by Vin all the way to Blaze and do it as well. And that's going to be Alberttt jumping to the backlines, looking for a kill onto Ciku. Formase pops that vengeance defensively as Clayyy looks for more. The knockup comes in. That enhanced chain is huge. R7 looking for flanks. He might just be punished here. He will fall. And that's Formase picking up the killing spree. Again, we are equal on kills. RRQ still 2,000 gold ahead.
Beautiful side steps coming from Yums as well. He knows RS7 loves going for this kind of backline dashes, but unfortunately for Say, I'm sorry for Moon. He just got caught. He wasn't expecting, despite the track, but the hook was intended for Yums, but he just got caught in it, which is just very unfortunate.
I don't think Vin's hook can be, you know, you cannot not expect it. It's gonna come. Like, it's just a matter of when. But to RRQ, Hoshi a little bit greedy there in the last fight and sacrificed one person for it. Now Todak, what is it they need to do? I mean, RRQ Hoshi still has the lead, but the Lord is now up on the bottom side.
Yeah, and instantly RRQ, they're just straight onto this right now. Todak trying to respond. Let's see what they do.
Yeah,
well, Alberttt just gets it completely for free, and the hook lands onto Todak. Momo goes down. It's R7 that picks up the credit for it. And now RRQ, they're trying to press their advantage. Moon is down low, but they're disciplined. They're not going to push this yet.
That was so smart of Rrq Hoshi. As soon as they got the hook, they caught Todak kind of distracted. And while they're in the midst of that confusion, Skylar was just zoning them out with those blowing duets. And there was absolutely nothing Todak could have done. They need to stall for a little bit more time before Momo and Formaze is able to sustain to all three initial bursts. But it's just so very difficult considering that RRQ has a big lead into the 5K economy. With the average, it's just not making it very, very easy. But hopefully Formaze now with the blade armor is going to come in right now.
Yeah, Todak, they already get... Oh, Skylar just somehow runs through with a slither of hell, but the hook comes in onto Todak as well. Yumes is in trouble now, down low. Alberttt uses the Phantom Execution to get out of the fight, and they fully disengage.
Clean disengage there for RRQ, but honestly, I feel like that was worth it for Todak. They were able to just zone RRQ back when the Lord spawned in. They weren't able to get a single turret so far, and yeah, Todak just defend really well. One turret falls, but again, I feel like that was worth it. Lord should usually just get at least two turrets inner.
I definitely agree, and on top of it all, there was such a clean disengage from Skylar. Very, very clutch, a pixel-perfect moment. But before that, let's take a look at the items real quick before we proceed into the next fight. You can see the power spikes are starting to kick in from Rrq Hoshi, but Todak, they're getting a little bit more tanky, and they are going to force the issue.
Alberttt tries to get away defensively, but does not make it out alive. And now Todak, Formaze on the chase, gonna get stunned out on the R7, but the bloody hunt onto Moon manages to secure the kill, and now Skylar in some trouble. He does still have the blazing duet though, doesn't choose to use it. R7 with the falling star rune, counter engages, enhanced chains with the knockup. Both teams, they're just on their toes here, wanting to engage but being so careful.
That was huge for Todak, man. Again, at this point it's kind of personal, right? They're trying to just take Alberttt down. Every single time they focus on Alberttt. Most of the times, Alberttt has been a little bit too flashy for them to pick off, but this time you can see Alberttt way too greedy on the positioning.
This is a very, very good comeback coming from Todak, getting a kill on Alberttt. But the problem remains, right? Alberttt is still a distraction. The bigger picture is going to be taking out Skylar. So far, he's 1-0-4, and he's just popping off. Look at the damage output right now. He's just overtook Alberttt in terms of damage potential, and this is something that Todak needs to really, really figure out on how to deal with it eventually. But slowly but surely, they need to scale a little bit more. But as of now, Moon is going to be the priority coming from Rrq Hoshi to actually punish him.
And when you talk about Skylar, it's only getting more difficult because he just picked up the Wind of Nature as well. So he's going to be able to mitigate some of this damage that Todak is putting out on them. Now the Lord is spawning in just under 10 seconds. They're both neck to neck here.
It feels like, yeah, RRQ, they have the gold lead now. Oh, look at that, another stellar hook from Vin. He gets it with a Phantom Execution by Alberttt defensively, picks it up, he goes back in with the puncture. Todak instantly disengaged. R7 manipulating the waves up top to clear it out and get pressure for RRQ as they put their focus onto the Enhanced Lord. 12 minutes in, R7 still cutting the waves in the mid lane, trying to just buy so much time for the side of RRQ. Todak cannot contest this. No pressure whatsoever onto the bottom and mid lane, and it is going to be a free Lord take for the Kings of Kings.
Yeah, this is just so frustrating, especially for Todak as well. Every single time they got the glimmer of hope, Vin is just so on point on his iron hooks. He gets the right target, he targets Moon all at the same time, and it's just very, very frustrating to play with. Hopefully it's not that much of a deal because 8k of a difference, it is still comebackable, but it's gonna be very, very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, 8k difference is probably like one item a piece almost for each of your members, so that's definitely a huge lead for Rrq Hoshi here. It's comfortable, and now they're going to look to press their advantage here with the Lord coming up on the inhibitors.
Oh, well, it's going to be the hook again. How does he get this? It's on to Yumes. He's going to get taken down there. Real world manipulation pop just to defend. And that top side will be pushed in. Both turrets in the mid and that top side have been taken to a quarter of HP. Todak need to look for that Langar play to come back into this game.
This is actually pretty okay, considering that Todak, they've only lose the roamer. It's okay, as long as Moon is alive, he's going to be able to do way much more compared to Yumes as of yet. So, as of yet, for Rrq Hoshi, they are going to get a little bit more in terms of objectives. Will Todak find an opportunity? And it seems like it's going to be very, very difficult to do so.
Yeah, I think this is where Todak's
four
draft is
maze.
starting to hurt him, but 4 maze tries going for the engage here. Momo follows behind, but Rrq Hoshi already created
Clayyy.
distance. They're pressing on. Alberttt uses the Thorn Wars to mitigate some of the damage here, and they successfully just retreat full on. This is Rrq Hoshi. If they want to go, they go. They don't have to engage.
Disciplined. This is the refined RRQ. With Coach Phil at the helm, we can already tell, right? Very different from M3, where they just look for brawls, fights constantly. Now they are disciplined. They take their time. They don't go too aggressive. 10,000 gold lead right now. They don't want to lose it, especially considering Todak's track record against Indonesian teams. You know, the group stage. On it. Yeah, man.
Feels bad. I get
Feels
it.
bad.
Feels bad. Feels bad.
Okay,
But
to be fair, this is a little bit on the draft as well. You see, Rrq Hoshi has a non-committal hook. As compared to Todak, they have to use the shield Unity to be able to engage as well. So I feel like this is a little bit tough for them to start something.
Yep, and as of yet, Todak, they just got the Malefic Roar up on Ciku. He's going to be able to do a little bit more damage, but it seems like Todak, they might need to shift their focus. Instead of focusing on Skylar, they might look to bully on Vin or maybe even R7 instead as a complementary to try and get some sort of economy lead. But before that, let's take a look at the items real quick, because as of yet, they're still growing a little bit more. We do see a little bit more sustains, but Momo is going to be caught out, but the damage coming from Skylar is a little bit scary to fight this.
Here comes the real manipulation, and now Rrq Hoshi on the back foot trying to escape. Now Vin taking so much damage, but they're fine for now.
R7.
Skylar jumps in, R7 with the falling star moon onto 2 members. He's sprinting all across the board right now. Ciku just kites back. R7 taken low. Forced to back away as Clayyy goes in for the enhanced chain. Alberttt looking for the play once again. 4 maze isolated because of that, and he will lose his life 5 seconds before the enhanced lord. Perfect timing for that team fight by both teams, but RRQ, they come up on top.
Yeah, that was just so unfortunate from Todak. They wanted to force the fight, but at the same time, they're just so worried on where R7 may or may not be. And every single time they're playing a little bit safe, you saw a play coming from 4 maze to set things up, but it was just so difficult considering how much damage and zoning that RRQ is doing to the table. And who could blame them? They're having 11k in terms of need. They just need the right kills, and RRQ, they're just not giving it to them at all.
How can Todak come back from this? I mean, yes, we have the, Langar strategy, and one of the keys to victory was also maybe to start throwing bodies to stall time. We have seen them do that before. Is this going to work in this case?
That's the Todak magic, I feel like. For me, whenever I see Todak behind, I'm actually more scared than seeing them ahead. Because they're just so good at playing from behind. They just look for this one team fight that swaps the game, just turns the game entirely on its head. And I feel like that's what they're trying to do here. They're setting up for it. They're look at how they are managing the waves. Ciku not completely just clearing out the wave up top. They're waiting on it. They're trying to just bait RRQ into the base right now. As Vin misses out on the hook. Enhanced Lord now in the mid lane. 3 waves pushing in. Enhanced. There you go. Chain coming in as well as Alberttt just, he swings across the entire base. 4 maze pops the Vengeance defensively. Ciku still on the defense. 3 base turrets have been taken down. Vin missing onto the hook. Yum still able to dodge away from the enhanced chain as Todak look for the re-engage here. It is still Todak with the defense.
This is exactly what I mean by throwing bodies. The 2-person that cannot be caught up is, oh no, he just got caught, and then the Castle Curse is real because with that play, RRQ closes up the game.
Wow, that hook! Who would have known? You thought everything was